This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. Recently, I started using Anchor as my podcast host. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part. And you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch in one place. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Friday, April 8th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, Russia-Ukraine War Summary. The UN General Assembly has voted to suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights Council. The U.S. government has warned India not to align itself more explicitly with Russia than it already has, lest they face significant and long-term consequences. The U.S., UK, Europe, Australia, and Japan have all announced new sanctions against Russia and various higher-up Russians. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, a longtime ally of Russian President Putin, won re-election a few days ago and is now saying he hasn't ruled out paying for Russian gas in rubles, something other EU governments have said they won't do. And the director of the U.S. National Economic Council has said that inflation in Russia has reached an annual rate of about 200%, which is around 2% per week, which, if true, would be a whole lot more than the government's officially reported 2021 inflation rate of 8.4%. One more point of interest today, announced by the U.S. Attorney General, is that the U.S. has knocked out a Russian botnet, a network of hijacked computers that were meant to be used against internet-connected Ukrainian targets, though apparently it was disrupted before it could be fully weaponized in this way. From Axios, US, UK, and Australia announce collaboration on hypersonic weapons. The AUKUS, or AUKUS, Alliance has announced a collaborative effort to flesh out their collective electronic warfare and hypersonic weapons capabilities, primarily to counteract China's growing influence in the Pacific region. China is one of just a few nations that has made deep investments in hypersonic missiles, a hypersonic missile being a very, very fast missile that can dodge some missile defenses because of that speed. And they've been building out military bases and other infrastructure throughout the South China Sea and beyond as well, which has some officials worried that this region will be totally locked down by the Chinese if other military entities don't match or surpass their investments in these areas soon. And from Bloomberg, Canada to ban foreigners from buying homes as prices soar. The Canadian government has announced plans to ban most foreigners from buying homes in the country for a period of 2 years and to invest billions of dollars in catalyzing more construction in order to reduce skyrocketing house prices. Home prices in Canada are up more than 50% since 2020, and the foreigners being targeted are absentee owners who buy homes as investment properties. It doesn't apply to students, foreign workers, or foreign citizens who are permanent residents of the country. The idea is to free up housing stock that would otherwise be scooped up as assets and then concurrently build a lot more affordable housing in order to deflate the bubble many analysts and officials perceive this rapid real estate price increase to be. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.